What's going on? All right. Yeah, we can go live with this here. Let's see. Okay. Display capture off. Let me see where I'm at here. Dude, I took 4 years of French and I still don't remember it. There's the wind. How are you? Second Satan, welcome. Wind. Looks like we got, let's see. Well, there's four. There's me, because I look at my phone, so that live chat or top chat, whatever it's at on yours, is always going to be -1 because I got my I got my phone on for the chat. So, Wind asked me in Discord just a minute ago or so about alternate start and Unbound. I'm okay. Uh, Anxiety was pretty bad the last like 2 days. It just started to calm down now a little while ago, so I'm actually able to do this. In regards to your question with the two of them, uh, so, and I've got this under my user interface, but this could also be considered a core mod. Like I said, these particular separators are a little different than the ones that I make mine myself. I think Loki's in England, so 10. It's 3 a.m. over there. Plus, I think I saw Loki had a message up that wasn't feeling all that well. So hopefully you feel better soon, Loki. I wasn't even gonna stream today, but I had a couple other questions too. Not just in regards to what Win was asking me, but basically where I put alternate start in my left pane. Now this is left pane only. I load them up early. Most of my UI stuff, you can see immersive HUD, obviously Sky UI, Sky HUD. If you decide to use any of the more HUD options, and one of my favorite additions is Dear Diary. Anything else that would be considered a UI, or you could see what these also alter, but they don't really fall into the category of user interface. Obviously, Part the Next Dilemma is a quest alteration. Volkahar Rebuilt can technically. Sorry about that. Hoping my headset actually charged last night. I think it did. Um, Castle Volkahar Rebuilt here can technically be almost placed anywhere, but you would want it up above anything that alters it. Uh, your textures are going to take care of themselves. Same with any meshes that you alter within side. I've always kept it up top, just because it is an alteration from the end of the quest line. Um, I consider it a quest alteration because you do have to complete that entirety of Dawnguard for the castle to be rebuilt. There is Castle Volkihar Redux, which is on LE. I don't think it's been ported over to Special Edition, as far as I know. Let me just take a look here. If I type in, wow, caps, RE, so Volkihar Re. Like I would be looking for Rebuilt, Redux. So Rebuilt is here. This is Arthmore's. So this one's up top here. Obviously the translation versions. Anything else that's based off of altering Volkihar may or may not pop up. Sometimes you have to be specific with the search. Usually on Nexus you can get away with it. If you're on console and you're trying to find a mod, good luck, because their search engine is such garbage. It's such a piece of shit. The one that I'm looking for, I'm gonna have to open up a new tab for this on Nexus. I'm gonna go right to LE so I could show you. This is the one that I really wanted for Athralor when I wound up doing his story. Ooh, hold on. No, I hit the right one. Okay. If it's even still, did I even spell that right? All right, rebuild, Redux should pop up. I think it's by Digital Cleaner. I'll just do a quick search for it. Hold on. Redux. Or is it on Steam? Is it no longer? Well, no, it's on ModDB. Hold on. There's images. There's Rebuild. Redux no longer hosted on Skyrim Nexus. This is 2013. So it looks like it's on the Steam Workshop. But it's on Bethesda.net. Here's the thing. I played with this on Bethesda.net. It's a fantastic mod. Looks like it's on the Steam Workshop. So I can view the page. This mod here, and you guys that are playing on console will see this. You have easy access to this. This was ported over to Xbox on Bethesda.net. It's no longer on Nexus. I thought it was on LE by itself, but it's not. You could see some of the changes if you go through the photos, the videos, anything that Digital Cleaner here is the mod author. You just need the DLCs for this item. I'm assuming just the Dawnguard DLC, but have Legendary Edition, have Special Edition. This will work on Special Edition from Nexus. It says it's for Skyrim. You can run this on Special Edition. You may have to run it through Xedit or properly convert it to Special Edition, but it's fine. It was obviously done properly and ported over to console. This would have been This would have been my choice if I had the time and energy to make sure everything was proper. Excuse me. It's got a decent file size. I think on console it's a little bit larger. almost 55 megabytes of a mod. Changes a lot. It's actually a really, really well done mod. Bethesda.net. So you could see this here if I can even be arsed to open this up. Oh no, notice you're leaving Steam. Yeah, okay. I know I'm leaving Steam. So you guys will see this if you're playing this on console, obviously. Right? The Digital Cleaner's they've got 5 mods here on console. This is the one that I would have chosen for my Castle Volkihar. There's a little video here you can watch. I'm not going to play it right now, but I have to do it this way. Makes it look like this. You have access to a whole new throne room. There is a really nice shadow scale build that Zarek Zahakaron did a while ago with an Argonian shadow scale that uses this mod as the main focus. Well, not as a main focus for the end of the quest, but you're basically, I mean, you'd have to watch his build video. It's quality, but it uses this mod. So like I said, I think at one point it was on the Nexus for Legendary Edition, but since then it looks like it's stayed on the Steam Workshop right here. So this is where you can get it. Obviously, you're the Lord of Castle Volkihar. You could read all the contents here. This is the I guess file details. I've never really purchased mods off of Steam directly, since most of the stuff I get is directly off Nexus. Ba, 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 ba. Less intrusive. Let's see. Trying to catch up with the chat here since I've been checking these out. But yeah, anyway, so for Bethesda, yeah, you do have it here. Volkihar Redux. It's a fantastic mod. So I've used it on my Xbox with load orders. You can see all the. It's got a ton of downloads, tons of views. When it was updated last, when it was uploaded, it's on version 3. There's nothing wrong with this. There are no issues that I've ever come across. If you're playing a vampire character and you're on console and you want a nice, easy player home mod, it says player home PC. I'm assuming it was taken directly off of the Steam Workshop for that. So, but the mod is quality. It's high quality. Unfortunately, I couldn't go to Nexus to download that same mod. Let me see. So we have. Let's get rid of this. So I have both my Nordic and Yash guides up. And again, to answer your question, Wind, I load them kind of at the bottom, right before I do my loading screens and audio, things like that, audio, music. And I keep them here, and I keep one of the two active. If it's one that, I'll say it like this: I keep alternate start active. The reason is because alternate start requires a few other patches for various other mods. So when I get to my actual load order for my plugins tab, you'll see alternate start. Right now, I have two other mods. One being the landscape fixes for the alternate start locations, and because now I am running Cities of the North Dawnstar, it also has an alternate start patch. So if I were to run loot, well, you're probably gonna see some, maybe not errors, but you're gonna see some warnings and messages. I might get an error or two because of patches I have yet to add. No, I have no errors. I have 8 warnings. Most of these are going to be patches, especially for Legacy. Obviously, Legacy of the Dragonborn has its own patches. Yeah, and that's also true. You get one letter wrong on BNet, or if it's a mod that's in work in progress, sometimes they are really hard to find, even if they're working mods. To give you, I guess, a good example would be things that are included or are a part of the graphics pack. Skeletor has a tendency to put a lot of his works into work in progress, where they come out of work in progress but go back in, and it's a very quick switch. Sometimes it's a couple hours, sometimes it's same day, sometimes it'll be out for a couple days or a week, and then it might go back in work in progress. He likes to tweak things. Skeletor is kind of a perfectionist when it comes to the mods that are out for console, which isn't a bad thing. It's just they're hard to find, and I've always been comfortable using work in progress mods. So he'll also be probably one of the first people to tell you that if a mod is in work in progress, you probably shouldn't use it. Then again, I've never been one to fully listen to everything that everybody says, and I'm very familiar with his works. I'm comfortable enough to know that even if he does put something in work in progress, and I were to send him a message saying, "Hey, I like it. I know it's in WIP, but can I use it? Is it safe?" He's told me it's fine. I'd use it. If he's like, "Well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that," I would leave it alone. Generally, take his advice or anybody else's advice if it's work in progress. Probably don't include it. Obviously, there could be an issue that is being resolved. The problem is it's hard to test, or if you have a bunch of people that are helping you test mods out. We ran Sorry, headphones again. We ran into this when bringing TPOS2 back, because if it's just me uploading to BethesdaNet to do testing by myself, I can do that without having anybody even knowing that it's in work in progress. If I upload to BethesdaNet from the creation kit, it gets sent to my personal page, my authored page, and it's there. I can physically go to my Xbox and download the mod, but nobody else can. Nobody else can even see it. They don't even know that it's there. When it's in a group, when we had, I think it was 5 testers total, and then including Nesbit, so that'd be 6 people. Which Nesbit doesn't have an Xbox, so he relies on us to do the testing. We had to put it up, but we had to put it in work in progress. And even with the message of please do not download, this is a test, we still saw like 5, 6, 700 people download it within the first day or two, you know? And then we were already getting questions about, oh, is this compatible with this? And like I had to be the asshole saying, hey, it's in work in progress with the big message in all caps saying, do not download work in progress. We are testing. Why people don't read, I have no freaking idea, but they don't. But if it's a mod that I was doing myself, or if it was a mod that I was porting, um, I could do it by myself. And as long as once you're done in the creation kit or you're done doing anything in regards to porting, you're still working within the CK. Once you hit that upload to BNet, it gets uploaded, but it gets uploaded, and then you have to go to BethesdaNet to fully publish it. But once it's uploaded, it's there, just nobody can see it. But they can see it once I publish it. But if I don't publish it, I could log into my Xbox on my account because it's the same name. I could physically download it, I could test it, I could do anything I need to do, and it could stay up there. Nobody else will see it. Uh, and then I can work out any bugs that might be in there. Or if I feel comfortable to release it, I'll take it out, I'll publish it, I'll put it into a category or categories that I feel like it's going to be on, and it's fine. So obviously, yeah, you're going to see patches. These are like patches. So I'm basically missing like the 8 warnings are from things that need patching. Legacy needs patchings for these mods. These all get fixed at the end. Cutting room floor and 3D trees and plants. That'll get patched by Quins. Quins will actually handle a lot of this at the end. Here you go. Here's another one for WACCF. That'll be handled by Quins for audio overhaul and ISC. The ACE, clothing extensions, armor and clothing extensions. That'll also be handled by Quinn. So that's one mod. Literally, there's one file on this page that is the patch central. And then there's cryptors or cryptopores. I might be here somewhere. Let me see if I can't even really pronounce it. It begins with a K. I think she did a lot of the other individual patches. I think the page has something like 56. Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, that's a lot. That's true. A lot of people are curious. We did that with some of the TPOS2 add-ons, the city mods, and they went into work in progress. The problem is that we still have, like with our group, we have X amount of people that are testing. So when I go to upload, I can't just keep it there because I would still be the only person to see it. And I guess if I really wanted to do it a roundabout way, I would have to. Well, there's a couple ways to do it. You can let everybody know to be logged in, and like right now, like in 1 minute countdown, in about 30 seconds, I am going to upload. As soon as I upload it, you guys better tell me you download it, and then I'm immediately taking it off. But the problem with that is there's how many people in the world that are still playing this game, so there's a good chance somebody else is going to get it. The other way to do it would be to do it through like a USB or send the files, and it would have to be another person that would have a computer. Not everybody does, so it makes more sense to just publish it under work in progress. Don't put any description in, just type in mod is being tested, please don't download, and then just lock the comments right at the beginning while you're doing testing, because you know you're going to get people in there asking, is this compatible with this? Oh, can I run this? Can I run this? And it takes you away from the testing process. It's a pain in the ass to do on BethesdaNet, but unfortunately, because you can only do it from one computer, and if you have a group of people testing, obviously they need access to it too. That's the easiest way to do it. If you don't mind me, guys, I'm gonna be occasionally getting up and moving away. I'm cooking some dinner here for myself. It's a little bit late, but I really haven't eaten anything in the past like 3 days aside from coffee, tea, and Today's like the first day I've had solid food, so I've been lightheaded on top of my anxiety, going nuts. Yes, I do. When that's a good question too. Where my world map sits on the left pane is all the way at the bottom. Well, you can see how far I got down here so far. I think this is when I quit. I finished the Chantry College. Where it says new mods or bottom, uh, this section here, 44. This is where TextGen and Dynalod will be generated. My map mods will always sit underneath, just in the left pane. The right pane is fine. You can keep your map mod up higher if you want to. It's a little different than console. Console requires the maps to be in a certain area. The LODs work a little bit differently on console than they do with PC, and that's on if you're on PC and you're self-generating your LOD textures and your distant terrain and things like that, architecture, trees, landscape, uh, things like that. And they're now including some snow on top of that. You could even do that with the map itself. There's snow mods specifically for your map to make your map look a little more immersive. Um, they have their own place, but they really don't affect anything. They would just go underneath your map mod. I don't believe console has anything like that yet. And to be honest, I think I'm at the point now where I don't even really want to run a map mod on console. I think because they only have 150 mod slots, meaning 150 of these ESPs or ESMs, it really takes away from their experience. They have no way of making like a bash patch or anything like that, or a merge patch for certain things. And they only have a 4.96 gigabyte space limit. Uh, a good example of that would be Noble on PC. Noble on PC is 2.5 gigabytes in total with the update. So right there is over half of your space. So you can see there are restrictions there. Can't run a lot of individual textures like we do on PC. But I was always able to make my console games look fantastic with just keeping it as simple as I could. Um, I still make my character. My character was always first. Yeah, below on the left. And then, yep, your plugins. Your plugins would stay where you put it. When you install it, if you're going in order, alternate start is, let's see, should be up top. Well, there's your world map. Alternate start is like right at the bottom. So anywhere between, right before your loading screens, anything else above that is considered a core mod. User interface I consider core. Sky UI is a core mod for me, but it's a UI mod technically. So, but I consider basically these first two categories as core. Anything after that, my loading screens could change at whim. My audio can change at whim. My music can change at whim. These aren't considered core mods to me. Guard dialogue overhaul. CRF is back in here, but to me this is not a core mod to me personally, but it's a core mod to a lot of people, right? Obviously the unofficial patch. Unfortunately, a lot of other mods rely on it. I wouldn't run it if I didn't have to be honest with you. And Xbox got screwed out of this because the Xbox version's like 420 megabytes, whereas what is it on PC? Let's take a look. I think it's 179 for the file. Yeah, 176. 176 megabytes for the PC version of the unofficial patch, right? PS4's version is something like 17 megabytes. It's really small. It fixes just a couple bugs. It's not even so like I don't know what Arthmore and the team were doing. I'm assuming they. There goes the mic again. I don't know what the team was doing, but I'm assuming they added textures and meshes into certain places because I don't understand why 177 or 176 megabyte file got blown up into north of 400 for console. There's no reason for that. Just fix the bugs if you're gonna fix it, and like leave the textures alone. There's other mod authors that make excellent textures that have ported them to console, and they're gonna be overwritten anyway. So Xbox got screwed in that regard. You've got another 200 and some odd megabytes of shit you don't need that you're overwriting anyway with your texture packs. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, that's the first mod everybody gets. Do you know what I mean? Like Second Satan's just saying there, half a gig is massive for console. And Sword was doing her test without the unofficial patch with TPOS2, and she's saying she's not even noticing a lot. I mean, she notices the changes. She picks up on a lot of stuff that, like, she has a really, really, really good eye for um, picking up details. She's been running without the unofficial patch because she runs Xbox. She has an original one, and her husband has an X model. And on his, he's running it, she's not, and she actually says her game is running better without it. I've had other members come to me and say the same thing, and because a lot of other mods rely on it. I use a lot of mods, unfortunately, like I said, that rely on the unofficial patch. But I'm never going to tell you, oh yeah, you absolutely need it, or oh no, don't play with it. There's something about it, blah blah blah. I mean, you need it, you need it. If you don't want to run it, don't run it. Your game's still going to run fine. You're going to have a couple bugs in there that are definitely going to be noticeable, but you're probably not going to notice as many as you think you do. Um, it's not one of those mods where if you don't play with the unofficial patch, your game is going to be borked, it's going to be bugged, you're going to run into tons of issues later on. I mean, I've seen other mods. I'll try to give you, like, this is probably the best example that I could give. Immersive Citizens, right? I think we all love the mod as a concept. I know I do. I can't say that I'm a fan of the mod author because of conversations that I've been privy to read, going back and forth. I understand why the mod was tweaked the way that it was, but it's not compatible. Like, if you run it with the city overhaul, you have a really good chance that you're going to crash your game because of the AI. And especially if you have other mods that do anything else, like let's just say you add wet and cold, and you have a city overhaul. You're going to find NPCs get stuck, they're going to lock themselves in their room, stuff like that was reported. Those things are absolutely true. I ran Immersive Citizens, and this is before I knew about the issues with cities. But I was running individual cities. I was running Arthmores because they're supposedly compatible. I was finishing up the College of Winterhold questline, and I went to fight Morokai. And the map marker was showing him in Iverstead, instead of Labyrinthian. So I went to Labyrinthian to do the quest because it was initially pointing to there, but once I got into Labyrinthian, I wasn't pulling up my map to find out where Morokai is because we all know he's in the last boss chamber, right? With the two enthralled wizards keeping him, at bay, because Savos Aran sacrificed them, and I guess they were holding him, and he sealed them in and everything. So when I got there, the enthralled wizards were there, but Morokai was not. Morokai was inside of a building in Iverstead, and I'm like, okay. So I fast traveled. I never fast travel, but I fast traveled to Iverstead just to see what the hell was going on. And lo and behold, Morokai was inside of a farmhouse with Yorlin Greymane and a couple of Riften guards. So I had to fight him. I mean, I fought him inside of a farmhouse. And when I say farmhouse, a one-level farmhouse, not even one with a basement. So, yeah. Things like Immersive Citizens, it hijacks the AI. It sets them. If you read the article on it, I believe it's on Reddit still. It sets the global priority so high that it really works best with if you're not running any city overhauls, and you don't have any added NPCs. Oh, it works great. It works absolutely great. If you're watching Gopher's latest playthrough, Gopher's running Immersive Citizens, but if you'll notice, um, he really doesn't have much else added. He's got some graphical mods. He has a lot of lighting and weather tweaks with the Z and B. He's got some personal tweaks with that, but he's running IC, and it seems to be running good for him. But I did notice in the last chapter he did have some NPC issues, things that were bugging out. And if you've noticed he has Inigo with him. No, the guards got killed pretty quickly. I died to him like a couple times because as soon as I would load into the cell there, he just zapped me with either the lightning or the staff of Magnus or whatever, and I went down pretty quick. And I was a high level. It's just I was confined to a small farmhouse. Yorland was asleep in the bed with. I don't even think it was his wife. I don't think it was Frelia. Um, I think it was whoever the owner of the home was. Like their wife was also in bed, and this was the middle of the daytime, so you could see how things get screwed up. It was the funniest. It was one of the funniest things I've seen, but it totally broke that save. Totally broke that save, and that was a save that never crashed. Like that was a 100% non-crash. The character was at level like 46, right? No issues, but things like that. So I can't run that. I would have loved to put IC back in, but it's been one of those that we were talking about when the Discord started, when I think there might have at the time only been maybe 12 to 15 of us total in the Rangers, and an Immersive Citizens replacement mod. The topic of that came up. So I said, like, as soon as I get more familiar with the creation kit, with how mods work. Like I said, once I familiarize myself, like I'd like to take a stab at trying to make something that's better because of the articles that I read between the mod author of Immersive Citizens, basically increasing the global priority for the NPCs, etc. I mean, it wasn't a nice back and forth conversation that I read in it. I mean, he's been pretty adamant about not wanting patches. That's why Nesbit's mods are like if you ever played the original the People of Skyrim mod, right? There was a patch for Immersive Citizens and there was back and forth banter, but if you go to the IC page, it says even though the mod author of the People of Skyrim created a patch, these mods are in no way compatible, blah blah blah. I mean, he doesn't want to work with anybody. Like he wants his shit to be the only thing and take precedence, and I find that very shitty, for lack of a better word. I also don't think English is his native language. It didn't seem like I'm not sure. I can't pronounce his name, or I don't even know. I think that's just his mod author name, but I couldn't pronounce it. It had French tones to it, but again, I could be wrong. I don't think that he's very open to working with anybody. There might be a very good reason for that, something I don't know. But from what I've read, I mean, like I said, that's just an example. Um, yeah, I keep alternate start and unbound right here, right above these loading screens. Reason for it is because alternate start will stay active just for any additional patches, and that way, if I want to switch to unbound, Unbound doesn't have any required patches. There's no landscape fixes for Unbound because you don't need one. There's no, alternate start or CRF patch for Unbound because you don't need one. Um, it would save you ESP space. It would save you, these actives here. It would save you space right there. Oh yeah, yeah. There's never been drama in the community. God. That was part of the reasons that Rangers got started in the first place. Is like there was just shit everywhere, and like we were tired of it. I got kicked out of Tarsh's Discord for joining Sons of Skyrim because I wanted to mod, and that's just me personally. I can't speak. Yeah, the worst thing about these headphones is that when they shut off, I can't immediately turn them on. I have to wait like 3 seconds. Um, Yeah, there's too much drama, too much drama, and like that was something that was known ahead of time. Like my personal situation with that, I kind of drank the Kool-Aid over there for a lot longer than I should have. But let's see. Yeah, too much drama in the community. We were all trying to work together. That was the point. Um, we wanted everybody just to put their shit behind them and just move on. It's been like 3 years now, 2 years or whatever it is, or maybe even up until early 2018. Some of the mod authors were still working together, but at that point the rift had already happened and people were picking sides and just like I don't have time for that in real life. It comes up in the Discord once in a while, but it's not as much as the other two. And it's just tiring. I know I don't have time to deal with it, but they apparently do. So I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm doing here today. I'm trying to stay sane, I guess. Trying to finish this. I was trying to finish this nice load order, wasn't I? I think that's what I was doing. And then I got sidetracked. Using Audio Overhaul Skyrim and not RAO. I have AOS and ISC. Wind. I do. I went back to both, even though there are a couple extra patches for both of those. Audio Overhaul and Immersive Sounds and the Synergy patch, and then these are all the AOS has a lot of singular patches from its main page itself. That's not including the patches from Quinn's or Cryptoburst. I'm probably still not saying that name right because I look at it, I call it I just call it Cryptors patching because I can't pronounce the rest of it. But I guess she did a lot of the patches for individual things, and you do need them. You will have to go to that page to get them. But between that and Quinn's, those are all your patches. You'll run loot and you'll see like 0 warning. You'll always have like maybe 1 or 2 warnings. As long as your errors are usually 0, you're usually fine. Dirty plugins, you'd obviously want to mitigate that. Things that need cleaning. I'm not sure I have. Yeah, I have a couple that need cleaning, but some I can't. Some I can't clean. It's not so much for like Moon and Star. It's got 3 identical to master records. I'd have to look at it in Xedit to see about undeleted references or anything like that. Any other conflicts, But you can run the quick auto clean. It's kind of what I do with Undeath. Undeath, I really can't. I should say, I really don't like going into and doing it manually. I literally run Undeath through the quick auto clean, and I'll show you what happens when I do. Should be here somewhere, I think. Yeah, right there. But plugins masters require sorting. But it doesn't really have any other masters aside from the base game. So you could use all 3 Wind. You could run audio overhaul. What if you were going to do that? What I would recommend is run audio overhaul first. If you're going to keep immersive sounds compendium, run that next. Make sure you have the patch right after those 2, and then run reverb and ambience overhaul either below those or above any music mod, because some music mods do add in a little bit of ambience or reverb, but not enough to conflict with that particular mod. If you're using a full, like I'm using a full music replacer, so if I were to run reverb and ambience, I would just place it underneath the synergy patch here, because I know these patches here are going to get put in a different spot. I have notes for these. That's where I would put it. You could run a couple. I think there's a couple other ones that you could run it in conjunction with these. I haven't. I don't know how well they're going to work. I replaced. The only reason why I replaced. Oh, I'm a big fan of the Fantasy Soundtrack Project music overhaul. I do the full replacer. I think you guys have seen me show what I do when I install that. I replace the game's bass music and I replace the combat music. So everything is like you don't hear Skyrim. I've heard the Skyrim soundtrack by itself so many times. Um, I need something else, and I've listened or used all the other ones, especially when I was on console, um, just for something else to listen to. Um, but I do like the Skyrim's got nice music, vanilla. It does. It's got a really nice soundtrack. I've just heard a lot of it. The Celtic music replacer I think is pretty good. It's a large file. So if you're on console, you kind of have to pick and choose. Do I really want 120 something megabyte file? Most people say yes. If they know they want to run it, they like the music, they're gonna make space for it. It's just like anything else. If that's a priority for your game, absolutely, yeah, make some space for it. PC's got some leeway with that, obviously. As far as size, it's really your memory that's holding you back there, and ESPs. If you're doing like a really large setup, you'd be using something like Rybash or Z-edit, Z-merge, etc. Yeah, as long as you stay under that, you'll be fine. Let's see, I'm giving my one niece a hug because I think she's going to sleep. Have a good night. But they're not going to have school tomorrow. We're supposed to get like 20 feet of snow or some shit. They said anywhere between, I forget who put it up, a buddy of mine put it up. They said anywhere between 2 inches and 6 feet of snow. The weather's never accurate anymore. Okay. Let's see if I can move this here. No, I can't. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just trying to adjust some things over here so I have a little bit more room. I have a very small space to work with. Alright. Dinner will wait. Yeah, audio overhaul first, immersive sounds next, their patch, their synergy patch, and then anything else that you want to affect. If it does, let me see. Hold on, RAO. Is it up here? It should be up here. Hold on, let me check and see. Dear Diary, these are still user interface. I haven't actually scrolled down here. Music. It may not be. I think it's on the Yash guide. Right, Win, didn't you say you were using Yashed? Well, this is music. This is UI. Alright, so audio. Sounds of Skyrim complete. Audio overhaul. Immersive sounds. Let's do this. Let's just open up a tab and then. Because I haven't actually read this on for the PC version requirements. Here's another thing too. A lot of mod authors will just tell you to put their mod lower. If they tell you to place it above, they would have had to have used it with in conjunction. Nexus seems to be a little bit better about that. What does it do? Recommended sound mods. So they recommend immersive sounds compatibility. Use alternate start, enhanced lighting for E and B, and there are optional patches you should use under optional. There's also a patch for ELSX. Place this after the alternate start patch. Can't use a batch patch in cells. So it wants you to place it lower, is my understanding. I recommend you load this one fairly high in your load order. This will allow other mods to overwrite easily. Other mods that change these cells should go after the Ratway. Dark Brotherhood Headquarters, Golden Glow, several of the ends. I honestly think it's fine. Like I said, I ran this on console with immersive sounds because console doesn't have audio overhaul. And I placed it underneath, and it's perfectly fine. You could place it above. I mean, you know, like I said, it's easier for us to do it on PC. If you don't notice a change, place it under, place it above, and vice versa. Like I said, when I used it on console, I use it all the time on console. By the way, my audio setup was my immersive sounds was first, reverb and ambience overhaul was next, and then my music mod, whatever I was running, my music mod would be underneath it. You can see it's kind of the same, although I have immersive sounds. I just don't have reverb because AOS and ISC kind of take care of a little bit of that for me, and I think it'd almost be overkill at that point. But yeah, it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna crash your game. It's not gonna cause any issues. Bugs, there are bugs. Let's see the bugs. Needs cleaning. ELE patch causes CTD. Falkreath Forest has the same growls repeating. This is back in 2017. These are the new ones here, 2019. Needs cleaning. Is marked as dirty by loot. 1 ITM record. Well, then clean it. Like, if you're on PC, clean it. The 1 ITM record will get clean with the quick clean. I don't understand why people post this. I mean, yeah, if you notice that it needs cleaning, you want 100%, but so clean it yourself. Like, let's see. No, it's just the ESP, that's all it is. But you see, this one's got. Now, this is something console doesn't have, an alternate start patch. There's no patch for reverb and ambience and alternate start, but there's one here, right? For ELE, there's an ELE for console. There's no patch. SSE, ELFX, there's no ELFX reverb and ambience patch. Not on console. It's a good mod. I don't think you need any of these, personally. Of course, I'm not the one that made the mod, but when I play with it on console, I didn't have any issues. It's funny though because that brings up a whole other topic of what patches are needed and what patches aren't. So you'll see other mods that have patches for PC that just were never brought over to console. We were just talking about landscape fixes the other day. There's a landscape fix for all of Arthmore's mods, but there's not one for console. But you don't have any real issues. You have a little bit of grass poking through, but it's not going to crash your game. So it's interesting to see stuff like that, you know? The Celtic music in Skyrim, this is a pretty nice mod. What did I saw... Let's go to music. Music of Tamriel. Okay, so this one here, I've been looking at this one for a while. Music of Tamriel. Version 2.0 now with tracks from Oblivion. Main file, 63 megabytes. This is Music of Tamriel This replaces some stuff from default Skyrim music, my preferred version. It's obviously larger. Version 2.1. So if you've played with any Oblivion music overhauls before, you'll know that a lot of the times, for whatever reason, and they say copyright, if you have like Oblivion and Morrowind music in your game, that's not the tracks that are added by the Solstheim or Dragonborn DLC, they tend to get taken down But I was curious about this one. I haven't added it in. I've been tracking it. I've been keeping my eye on it to want to see if it stays here. It's got a lot of endorsements. It came out early this year, but it doesn't have a lot of downloads. It's got a lot of views. Total downloads almost 2,100. 90 endorsements isn't bad, but I'm wondering about it. There's no bugs that have been reported. There's only 15 posts, but this is one I've been curious about. This mod has just been updated to version 2. This was back in March. Everything's now stable without bugs. Thank you for this. Top mod endorsed. Thank you. Why do you re-upload the same version twice? There's something different. It was a hotfix to a combat bug. Mod is underrated. Well, yeah, of course, because everybody, I think, wants to play Skyrim, and I think ideally they would like to hear, if they've played Oblivion, they would like to hear the Oblivion and Morrowind tracks also playing with Skyrim for the most part. Who knows? Just want to leave all Skyrim tracks intact and add Morrowind and Oblivion music on top of the default. Well, doesn't that do that? Doesn't it add? Yeah, Magus80 adds the soundtracks of Morrowind and Oblivion to the overworld of Skyrim. So unless it adds Morrowind and Oblivion and replaces Skyrim's music, I could see that being an issue. But if you keep the Skyrim tracks and you add in the Morrowind and Oblivion soundtracks to Traveling Overland, you get a nice mix. And then, if your dungeon soundtracks are usually different, they're usually handled by like a music replacer completely. One way or another. It's either you're going to add to what Bethesda put in for vanilla, or you're going to replace it entirely. You're not just going to have part of Skyrim for your dungeons, and then, like, it'd be weird going from a Skyrim music track to, say, an Oblivion music track in the middle of a dungeon. I think the music would be completely odd to change to. But, yeah, travel in the world. So yeah, I can absolutely see that. That's one I have my eye on. I'm not going to add it in yet. I'm still in love with Fantasy Soundtrack. I'm still going to go with that one. Let's go back to, where am I down to? Settlement slots, gameplay survival. We did weather, right? Yeah, we did weather. This is going to be interesting, going back to climates of Tamriel. Give me 1 second here, guys. No, say nothing wrong about playing on console, man. Nothing at all. Don't get caught up in that PCMR console pleb shit. I have both. I started on console. I still game on console. I do all my testing on console. I do the like the stuff that you're seeing here on my PC because I have no way of recording on my console right now. And obviously with the holidays, I'm not buying stuff for myself for that reason. So I could stream on Mixer if I want to, but like I said, I wanted a PC for modding. I'm gonna game on it too. It'd kind of be dumb for me to spend all that money to build one to not game on it. But yeah, I still game on console, and like I said, I do all my testing on that because ultimately that's where the mods are gonna go. I only have one mod uploaded to Nexus, which is a follower mod that I made for Nesbit, and I have 46 uploaded to BethesdaNet strictly for console. That was my intention. Either to, sorry, either to make or to port was for console. I had console in mind the entire time. Doesn't have lover slab. Yeah, well, lover slab's its own. Steam powered gaming PC. I'll take. There's some deals going on right now for some pre-built. Tanis was posting up links to pre-built PC because I know Tanis was after. He definitely wants one because he wants to be doing this too. Like he wants to be either making mods or at least porting is what he was saying to me. So he was putting up links. I think for you can get a really decent rig. Well, just the rig by itself. I mean, you'd still need like the monitor, keyboard, mouse, headset, or audio if you want to go audio that way. Get a good headset, one with the mic built in. I use SteelSeries. I have an Arctis 7 Pro. I'm pretty happy with it. Aside from when the mic cuts out because there's nothing playing in the background, it thinks that I'm not talking on it. So it's probably a setting I have to adjust. Otherwise, I just turn it back on. Um, but yeah, he was posting up. So you can get a good rig for like right around 750. And a lot of those places will let you do like monthlies. They'll let you do monthly payments for them. Like you could walk out of the store with it now. Oh, see here. Here's another issue I have. So I have to move Mari's death bells. What's overriding it? Forgotten retext. Okay. So stuff like this, when you see the gray lightning bolt, that means that mod's now being completely overwritten, which means I won't see Mari's death bells. So I have to move this under forgotten retext. So when I do, where are you? Forgotten retext right there. There you go. And just to show you, we'll refresh the page. So now we got Mari's nice death bells overwriting. And neither one, you can see they both have the nice yellow lightning bolt. Looks good. That's one way to check conflicts too. Once you immediately see that, you can hover over it and it'll say redundant. That's what that means. We are on textures for banners, large scale. We did farmhouse, we did structures. We're on this one here. I may get into merging the NPCs, where are they? Physical appearance mods, because I think I'm gonna now. Here's the thing, you guys. I put up what was it? It's time bound, the Dwemer race. So I may merge them all. I'm not 100% sure. Yo, dude, money was tight for me, man. It literally took me close to 3 years. It was over 2.5 years just to save, and then it took me a solid 2 months to actually pull the trigger to buy everything. So it's not an easy decision. Like I literally saved all of the money when I was cleared to go back to work after my car accident. Because I was out of work for almost 2 years. So when I was cleared to go back, I saved everything because I wasn't sure if I was going to wind up staying in the same field forever, or if I wanted to transition over to something like this potentially. I mean, I don't know what I would do in this field. Um, my skill set's fairly well. It's not. I mean, it's limited to a point, but it's you know I've been into mechanics my entire life. That's almost 30 years of doing that. Um, yeah, it took me close to 3 years just to save, and then like I said, it was going on another like 3 months, going back and forth every day, looking at my disposable income compared to money I have saved for like repairs, bills, home improvement, um, other potential issues. The like the what if savings fund, I guess you call it. Um, and then I'm like, yeah, you know what? If I'm not going to pull the trigger now, I'm not going to do it. So I did it, and now I'm absolutely happy I did it. Absolutely happy. Um, Hectic in the meantime, deciding, but I mean, you're either going to do it or you're not. That's really what it comes down to. You gotta pay 1K minimum for decent. But like, what are you talking decent? Like, is this decent pre-built or is this for just parts? Because you could build for cheaper than you could buy, with the exception of like right now with the sales going on with most companies. Because I mean, there's a lot of I mean, people are posting links up left and right. At least in our Discord, we've had a bunch posted up, but I've seen on other Discords too all the sales that are going on. You still might be better to build yourself than buy pre-built. It's 1.5. 1.5 solid. 1.5 will have you running Skyrim solid with like tons of mods. You'll be able to run in and out of the creation kit easy. But I like obviously like I said I hear you, dude. If money's tight, like I said, it was the same thing for me. Like I put everything away. I didn't spend anything. I bought gas for my car and food, and my job supplies my work uniform. So you know laundry detergent. That's about it. Toiletries, the bare necessities. Until I had this figured out, and it took me that long because I don't make a lot of money. I'm really good at saving it. That's about it. We may get into this. We may get into physical appearance, and this is something I may consider doing. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to work with the Dwemer race. It looks like it will from the pictures. I mean, I'm sure you can get it to do it. I wonder if they'll take on. I wonder if they'll take on a different. Out of the 10 races, I wonder if they'll take on one of the other Elven races. I could see Altmer or Dunmer, or a mix of those two, kind of taking over. Of course, if I place the race mod after that, it might take precedence anyway, so it might not matter. But I like it to use that. Textures and banners. So we just finished. Was it College of Winterhold? We didn't even get to banners and signs. Yeah, we were right up top. I think I started this category. Chantry. We were right here. We were on Chantry of College. We're not at shops and inns yet. I don't think there's anything there that I do. I add the Nightingale Circle and the Dark Brotherhood Tenets. And metal would be Ancient Dwemer Metal, CC's Ore Veins, and the Dwemer Ichor Bale. I'm only going to open these up. I don't want to have the entire thing like squeezed in here. So this is the LE mod, and it's strictly for the Nightingale Circle. This character may or may not ever get inside there. We may never see it, but I like it. So I'm going to add it. This is the before. It's the vanilla. This is the wet version. This is the one that I use there, right? So, and it's kind of neat too with the moss and everything. Just a small touch. Circle. This is HD. This is the more wet version. This is the one I run. The 7 megabyte version, the top one. So you have to set the data directory with. Right. Yeah, more wet. Oh, fetching. Wow, what the hell? That was delayed. Okay. Okay, whatever. Dark Brotherhood tenets. This is a nice one. You could actually read them. They're not messed up. You got a ton of options for this. I mean, when it wants to open. I have other things going on down here too. So, but this is the longest I've seen it take to open this freaking page up. It depends, Sonar, with the pre-built. But yeah, get the warranty. If it's pre-built, buy your warranty. Actually, you should buy a warranty on everything. Spend the extra cash, make sure you get a warranty on everything. It's worth it. You never know. It's like you get the extended warranty when you buy a vehicle, right? It's the same principle. It just costs a little less. 16K Dark Brotherhood tenants. Do I want 16K? Wasn't there a 32K option down here? I'm just gonna go 4K. with this one. I'm not going to go crazy with it. It's one thing I'm going to see in one place of the game. Pending. Yeah, it's taking a. Yeah, there goes the headset off again. So like these are tiny little additions. These are, I mean, they're nice to have. Ancient Dwemer Metal's fantastic when it wants to load. I don't know what the reason is it's not loading. It's taking forever. This usually pops right up. Ancient Dwemer Metal 2K. I grabbed the 2K for 65 megabytes. Um, the automatons you can. Um, there's the 2K, 1K. The automatons I think are a little different. This one, uh, just the ballista. You may have to run this through Xedit for just the ballista because of the mesh. I'm not sure if it's going to cause issues. It probably won't, but just to be on the safe side, I would. I don't run that. The Dwarven Metal itself will touch them. Um, not fully like that one does, but it will do the job. So CC Zorvanes. Just check requirements, yeah. So you have your option with 2K or 4K. These are for all the ores in the game. There's a similar version of this on console for like 16 megabytes. That almost does what this one does. This one does a lot more. So you can see the 2K, and I think that one's a 512. It's not even a 1K. But you can see the difference here between the 2 and the 4K. 520 megabytes versus 155. So I'm not staring at ore all day. I'll take the 2K. I'll be fine. Yeah, so our NZXT does a lot of stuff. John Rose actually runs an NZXT cooler for his, I think, with a couple other pieces of NZXT gear. Some Corsair, he's got some Corsair stuff in there, and but his cooler is NZXT. My cooler is Corsair. We want the brighter. You can see the difference between the normal and the brighter for the ores. Again, like those are against the wall. I like to have that because that'll put the color of the ore vein in there for you. And I want the new textures. So you can see the new textures are for the ores themselves, so they'll look like this. They look nice. Uh, Console doesn't have these options in here. And install the new textures for the ingots as well. Yeah, we want the Hearthfire patch. So that when you go to build your home, if you use Hearthfire, it'll be an option there for you. Let me just double check. I forget if this one is the ESP or the ESL. You choose the glowing option. I'll take the ESP for him, just so I can. It's not that I mind loose files. I only like loose files for certain things, like my snow mod. Nordic Snow has an ESP, or it's got a BSA with an ESP, or it's got just the loose files itself. I chose the loose for my snow because they'll take precedence over anything else. But you'll see now here, CC Zorvanes needs to go up under Ultimate Combat, but above Alternate Start. The Iker Bales, these are nice, really nice design. Not touched by Dwemer metal, I don't believe. Um, that's what it looks like default. They're like orangish yellow. They're kind of nasty. You could see the difference here. This is with Dwemer metal, so it's going to look like that. It's actually going to fit in better. So you'll have the Dwemer metal that looks like this, but you won't have this. You'll have this. I think it looks nice. Yep. Okay. So just one file with this. 6.5 megabytes. For some reason, this isn't loading for me. I may have to take a look at what the hell's going on. I don't know if it's just high traffic today. Yeah, it's still Sunday. If it stays like this, I might not be doing this much longer. Might just shut it down. So for my banners, I always go Designs of the Nords. Um, well, yeah, road sign's the one I'm gonna have to. Yeah, it's running real slow today. My internet connection must be shit today. Like I'm in the middle of nowhere. So this never happens. And it looks like the stream's lagging now too. Yeah. I might have to wait. I might just restart this and do this later because it doesn't seem like it's the downloads are happening fine. So what was I looking at the other day? We were looking at Point the Way. What was it? Wind. It was called Rally. Rally signs. It's not have any base game requirements. I might use that one. I'm not sure. CC's road signs. There's weather. Well, I can't use weathered road signs with TPOS and with Riverwood Grove because it actually moves the sign for that one of the characters works on. Like you see them hammering the roadside to kind of quote unquote fix it. Um, weathered road signs, unfortunately, moves the physical sign itself to a different spot. Uh, oh boy. I don't know. I might go with John's. Let me check out rallies real quick. Again, I think we looked at this the other day. UI. Quick search. RALL. Yeah, RAL. Rally signs. I did put Rally's vampire coffins. I put a bunch of them in. City roofs. Yeah, we're running the city roofs. The pillows. Here, the road signs. Oh, let's open it up here. Rally's road signs. Take a look. Got 17 files. 12 images. Yeah, these are the ones I think that put the crest of the hold. Shop signs, huh? Let's go to description here. Let's create the 5 city road signs 2K. Are compatible with Point the Way. It's a good thing. So you need a patch for cutting room floor. Wow, you need a patch for 2. I kind of figured for CRF. I'm probably not going to run Oakwood. Maybe I will. I don't know. Let's just check the patches here. Full mod all in one. Wow, that's a big file there. No other file needed, so the patches must be included. Okay. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't like having to patch for my signs. I may just go with Matthews or Johns. These look fantastic. Um, I am trying to keep my patches down as much as I can. And I think in my game, this may be a little too clean, if that's a thing to say here. I don't want my road signs like I would not like I said I would normally run weathered road signs. Um, just check and see the user files real quick. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep doing this, guys. My anxiety just started raging on me again. I've been trying to sip water here, that's why I keep shutting my microphone off. 3D signs. I want the road signs. Yeah, the realistic ones. Yeah, I'm gonna wind up going with Matthews again. I like them. You know, it's pretty basic. It's pretty simple, but it's also the one that fits. Plus, I'm using his landscape and his trees, so I have a lot of rally stuff for the interior, but and I picked the normal version. Yeah, that might be it for me tonight, guys. With the I like I said, with the way my anxiety's been lately, I it's like nearly impossible for me to concentrate. It's one of those things where I just have to lay down and just hope the medication knocks me out. I apologize profusely. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna call it here. Um, if I'm feeling better later, or if I wake up, or probably it'll honestly probably be tomorrow. I think because like I streamed so long the other day, and then on top of it, we wound up streaming Enderal until like 8 this morning or something like that. I forget what time it was. Just it's throwing things out of whack for me. So sorry. I feel bad. We'll do it tomorrow. Well, no, what's tomorrow? Monday? I might do it tomorrow, but I might do it in the early afternoon. I won't do it as late. I mean, it's 11 o'clock. It's 11:15 right now, so it'll probably be earlier in the day. It'll be like around 3, 4 p.m. maybe ish. But I'm gonna go lay down. I'm gonna bring my phone with me, so I will be on Discord for a little bit. But if you guys don't hear from me, it just means I fell asleep and the medication knocked me out. So I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you later.